Hi everyone, my name is Fede and today we are going to see how to deploy Hummingbot in AWS. First of all, here we can see the Hummingbot Miner web page, and if you want to start working as a market maker, I strongly recommend to take a look of all the different campaigns where you can put liquidity in. And if you want a deeper explanation of one of these topics, let me know in the comments and I will make a video to explain that. Now we have to go to AWS. If you don't have an account, you can create one. I already have an account, so I just have to log in. And then we have to go to the EC2 service that is provided by AWS and is virtual servers in the cloud. So here we enter. Here we are in the EC2 dashboard, and as you can see, there is no instance running. So we had to create one. We enter here, go to launch instances. We can put a name here, like Hummingbot. We can choose the OS. I will use Ubuntu. You could select the instance type that you want. For now, I'm going to use T2 Micro because it's free trial eligible. And also, you could select a key pair for logging in. I have already a certificate in my own computer, but if you don't have one, you could create one directly from here. Take in mind that you have to restrict some permissions to it to be usable. The last thing of the configuration is to select how much storage do you want. I think that 8 GB is okay for now. And we just launch our instance. It's creating the security groups. We have our first instance here, so we could access to the console. Here we can see the name that we put. And if you enter here, you could see the public IPv4 address. With this address, we are going to connect to our EC2, and also we have to use our certificate. The next step is to get into the instance, and I'm going to explain you 3 different ways of how to do it. The first step is to open the terminal, and I'm going to put it in the same screen. You can find here in the AWS documentation access Linux instance. You can find here how to access to it, and I'm going to replicate this in my computer. I have to find where is my certificate. I already know that, but take in mind that you have I will put this link in the description to access to it. So the first way, the first method is SSH-y. I have my certificate in documents. And then I have to put Ubuntu, that is the normal instance name when you create an Ubuntu instance, and then the public IP address. Here you could see all the path. Then enter, and we are here inside the instance. So this is the first method. One of the main problems that I found with this method is like if you have multiple instances, it's a little bit difficult to handle all the different IP address. So for that, I'm going to explain you how to configure this file that is located in .ssh config. As you can see here, I have already a host created. We could create another one for this situation, so we are going to put here host. I will put just HB host name. This host name is the IP address that we have here. User is always Ubuntu. Identity file. This is where you have your certificate in your computer. Alright, once we save this file, it's easy as go into the terminal and run SSH HB. And we are inside the terminal again. So this is a second method that is similar to the first one. We are using our own terminal to do it, but I think that is much more better to handle a lot of different instances. Now we're going to see the last method. For this, I'm going to close the terminal. You could find at the top right, there is a button called Connect. If you click there, you will be inside the instance in a very easy way and just with the browser. You don't need to configure any certificate. The only thing that you have to do is be logged in AWS. And one important thing is, like, if you check the path here, you will see that the last part is the instance ID. So suppose that you have like 10 different instances, you could bookmark each one and just change the last part of this path with the instance ID. You could access all the instances just with the browser. But for this situation, I'm going to teach you how to do this with the terminal. So we're going to put it here again. We're going to need just this web page. There is the one from Hummingbot Foundation, and we are going to see the Docker installation. So here you could see the first step that we have to do is install Docker. So we are going to copy this, paste it here, then copy this, and the last thing is copying this. Here we are. Then we have to read this warning that says, please restart the terminal once it is installed. So, wait. Here we run reboot, and we have to enter to the terminal again. We have to wait maybe, yes, 5 or 10 seconds. And now that we will be inside the terminal again, yes, here we're again inside the terminal. So we have to copy this, and here we can see that it's asking us which is the name of the Hummingbot version that we want to use. By default, if we press enter, is latest. We will use the default values for everything right now, and is now downloading the image from the official repository of Hummingbot. It says, okay, we are now with Hummingbot installed. We could create a password for this. I'm going to create a password, re-enter the password, and now we are inside the Hummingbot terminal, and we could create any strategy that we want. So this video ends here. If you want to learn something different, put that in the comments. And just the last thing that I want to tell you is, if you want to exit to this terminal and you don't want to close the Hummingbot client, you have to press Ctrl P, Ctrl Q, and you will be outside. As you see, the terminal sometimes gets a little bit buggy, so if you press Ctrl L, you will clean the terminal, and you could see that if you run Docker, you will see that there is the Hummingbot instance running. And if you want to enter or you want to access to that terminal too, there is a script called start sh that it is for starting the containers that you have running. So for now we could enter to the same container again, and if you want to create another one, you could see here, if you press ls, you will find you have the create sh, start sh, and update sh. If you run create sh.sh, you will create another one. So here we are going to put test files. Okay, I want to proceed, and it will create another container with another client. So this is useful if you want to run multiple strategies in the same machine. Here you could build them. This is the way. So that's all for now. Thank you very much for your time, and see you in the next video.